This is my Rockwell 1x42-inch belt sander, and as you can see, it has been unused and unloved for quite some time. And the reason for that is that there is supposed to be an idler wheel right there, and I took it out, sticks in there like that. But the problem is it should have a tire on it similar to this, but what it's got instead is this. The tire blew up. They don't make it anymore. And this sander's, God only knows, 30 years old. It still works perfectly. But this part is impossible to find and impossible to repair. So I decided the only course of action was to make one for myself. I modeled up a dimensionally accurate version of the bearing part, and that's important because I want the rubber tire to fit perfectly on the bearing. Blender's actually a great tool for doing models for 3D printing. Brought the part into Chitubox as usual for slicing. I printed the part in the Elegoo Mars 2 printer, and it did a beautiful job, as you can see here. Really nice, clean print. I really like Tenacious Obsidian Black. It's an easy material to print with. Once you get the printer settings and the heat and everything dialed in, it makes really clean, nice prints. Weirdly enough, you cure this material underwater, which I did, and it works. So I just cured it up in my little ultraviolet oven, and it came out great. Well, here's our wheel. What is a surprise to me is how tough it is. I was expecting it to be much more flexible, quite frankly. I don't know if this is even going to work, but we're going to try. There should be a modulus of elongation. That is according to what Siraya Tech says. We're over at the vise table. We'll see if we can squeeze this in. Yeah, that pushed that in somewhat now. Okay, vise table worked a champ. All I had to do was put it on the vise like that and tap it in with blocks. Good thing I forgot to turn the camera on. Very, very pleased with that. All right, let's go on. Oh no, now look what's happened. No sooner did I get this wheel installed, but I was cleaning off this wheel, getting the whole thing spiffied up, and this tire started to peel off and fall apart. Look at that. It's all old and rotten. Oh no, these things are just not made to last this many years. This rubber is just dead. Look at that. Look at that. Oh man, now I got to replace the rubber on this tire as well. All right, so we'll pull this wheel off, get this measured up, do the exact same thing we did on here, we'll put on here. I had to build the model in Blender in 2 halves, and that's because the wheel was too big to fit on the build plate of my Elegoo Mars 2 printer. Then exported them via STL files into Chitubox. I designed it so it wouldn't need any supports, and it was a simple enough job to print the thing up. I got the wheel halves printed and I epoxied the whole thing together, and it was not as clean a glue up as I would have liked because there was some warpage pulling the prints off the plate, and there's some flexibility in this. This is a little thin in there. So I was a little worried about the roundness of the part. It fits on there pretty nice, actually, not bad. And dang if it doesn't run true. It runs pretty good. I was quite pleased when I saw that. Can't complain about that, but that's when all the problems started. So now it was time to load up a belt. Stand clear, because you never know what's going to happen. And I got to tell you, it took some work to get the belt tracking right. It's still not tracking perfectly. You'll see what I mean in a minute. Seems like it's okay. It's not tracking perfectly, but it's almost okay. But then I noticed something weird was going on. You saw how much oscillation there was in that belt. And I couldn't figure that out. I was like, what is going on? And then I noticed something. I was really pleased when I fit this tenacious print of the wheel onto the bearing. But now look at it. It was tight. Now it has quite a bit of wobble and play in it. So what's happened is obviously the rotation and everything else has loosened or stretched this wheel a little bit, but something else has happened. The resin itself is kind of flaking off and wearing like really fast. You see that? Look at that. This was absolutely smooth and really nice. And I'm getting the same kind of flaky business on the big wheel as well, where you can just see that the resin is falling apart. It's not holding up to the job. So my beautiful wheels are not a success, but it was a fun project. It was a worthy try. Sometimes you try things, and I really like printing with this Tenacious. It's a great resin. I had high hopes that it would be the perfect material for this job, but it's not. So, oh well, not a success. Maybe I'll find a better material. Maybe if I print them in nylon, say on a filament printer, they'll hold up better. Oh well, hope you got something out of this video. Hope you liked it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.